Iran didn't warn the US of Israel attacks? Really? Did Iran warn Israel then? Because the Israeli official implied it very heavily. He said that reports suggesting Iran tipped off the US about its plans were categorically false and malarkey. It warned the Gulf states. Definitely warned somebody. Turkish, Jordanian, and Iraqi officials said on Sunday that Iran gave wide notice days before its drone and missile attack. Huh. But U.S. officials said Tehran did not warn Washington and that it was aiming to cause significant damage. How would Iran be aiming to cause significant damage? How do they know that? Why would they give any warning to the U.S.? Good form, you know? I have no idea what information would indicate this. Aiming to cause significant damage. Yeah, like I said, I don't have anything to say about this, Benjamin. Turkey could have notified them. Israeli War Cabinet puts off third meeting on Iran's attack to Wednesday. Wow, delaying? Lazy asses. While the attack caused no deaths and little damage. Oh, wait, so is media just fully going with the narrative that no deaths were caused? Like, even though that young boy died? Because the young boy died from shrapnel from an Israeli interceptor? So just that's the narrative? No deaths? The girl too? Did the girl die? I thought the girl was just injured. Well, the girl was Bedouin, so not a real person. True. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak told Netanyahu in a call on Tuesday that escalation in the Middle East was in nobody's interest. Man, everyone. What are you all spamming at me for? What I just said a person died. Were deaths actually confirmed? Yeah, one boy died. And then I don't know if the girl died. My understanding was she was just injured. The Bedouin girl. What boy? In Google. What do you mean, what boy? Do you want me to just give the name? What, like the name? What, the address? You want the address of the little boy? You know? What boy? Show me a picture of the boy. What are you talking about? Why are you asking me? Shut up. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Ali Bagheri Khani told state TV on Monday night that Tehran's response to any Israeli counterattack would come in a matter of seconds, as Iran will not wait for another 12 days to respond. I know that Biden has not tightened sanctions on Iranian oil exports. So Israel's probably pretty mad about that. I wonder if that would increase the likelihood of them reprising because they feel like America's not putting in their fair share. Jack Kirby saying that he doesn't want war with Iran. Well, that's nice. Yeah, here. Some analysts said that the Biden administration was unlikely to seek to sharpen sanctions on Iran's oil exports due to worries about a big spike in oil prices and angering top buyer China. Man, it really is funny how hard, like, every country is signaling that they don't really give a fuck about Israel right now. Like, like everyone's response to this is basically, now Israel, don't start a local war. Like, come on, you kind of brought this one on yourself, you know, with the fucking consulate attack. MSNBC said yesterday they expect the Israeli response to be heavy attacks on Iranian proxies rather than an attack on Iranian soil. That's fine. That would be like best case scenario. That would be best case scenario. Like first of all, I think that Israel is pretty well within their right to attack those Iranian proxies because it's definitely tit for tat, you know, with that one. Second of all, it doesn't like, that's business as usual. It doesn't like initiate further aggression against Iran. It doesn't prompt Iran to respond. Yeah. So where in this article do they mention targeting nuclear defense or nuclear compounds? Are they now just lobbing bigger missiles at each other as opposed to attacking each other's proxies? Well, no, it looks like it's going to go back to the proxies. But also, Israel doesn't really have any proxies. Like, if Iran wanted to attack Israel, it would just attack Israel, which is what it did. I think it's a good thing that Jordan and Saudi Arabia were forced to demonstrate so obviously to the overwhelmingly pro-Palestinian populations they're militant defenders of Israel. Whoa, hold on, okay? Jordan and Saudi Arabia are not exactly great allies to Israel. Saudi Arabia just wants to make money and try to balance out relations in the Middle East so they can keep being a gigantic like oil conglomerate shaped like a country. And Jordan is, I think Jordan understands that at this point, if it wasn't pro-Israel, it would be like squashed, you know? I think Jordan is trying to Jordan's trying to hold their shit. Vaush, they literally shot down Iranian drones and missiles. Yeah, Iranian drones and missiles crossed into their airspace. Like, yeah. Jordan wants to be Israeli ally, but can't say it openly because of Gaza. Well, they want to be allies with everyone, you know? I saw a bunch of discourse on Twitter about the current king of Jordan because he's like, he looks very British, so people were like, he's not Arab, and he's actually the most Arab man in the world. Where's that one photo? There we go, yeah. They posted this photo. In this photo, he does look extremely British, so I guess I understand, like, mapping this onto American conceptions of race, that this would be like, oh, this guy's just like a British guy. But this guy's like actually literally the most Arab individual to have ever lived. Isn't he a direct descendant of Muhammad? Like, he's part of the family that was part of the, like, Abdullah is the 41st generation agnatic descendant of Muhammad's daughter Fatima and her husband Ali, the fourth Rashidun Caliph. Yeah, like he comes from like a family of like warlords and tribal chieftains. He also starred on Star Trek. I saw that too as well. That was pretty funny. The Hashemites. He's a member of the Hashemite dynasty who have been the reigning royal family of Jordan since 1921 and is considered the 41st direct descendant of Muhammad. That's crazy, man. Can you imagine if somebody alive today was the direct descendant of Jesus Christ? Well, yeah, Katsum, that's just how it works, like if you're that far back, but still direct descendancy. So it might be made up? No, my understanding is that this guy's family ties, this guy's like ancestry is pretty solid. Hasn't this guy been relatively good? Constitutional monarch with wide executive and legislative powers, liberalized the economy when he assumed the throne. Reforms led to an economic boom which continued until 2008, right? Then like 5 American banks up, yeah. Great Recession, Arab Spring. Proportional representation was introduced into the Jordanian parliament. Abdullah is known for promoting interfaith dialogue and a moderate understanding of Islam. I like how this guy is the one descendant of Muhammad, and he's the most moderate Muslim leader in the Middle East. The longest-serving current Arab leader, he is custodian of the Muslim and Christian religious sites in Jerusalem, a position held by his dynasty since 24. The 2021 Panama Papers revealed Abdullah's vast hidden wealth, of course, through offshore entities, countered by the royal court signing privacy and security reasons, attributing the funds to inherited wealth. That's also very possible. I'm sure he has a lot of money. Pandora, not Panama. Did I misread? Pandora Papers, not Panama Papers. His wife is also a princess of Lebanon. That rules. Unfortunately, being forced to wear a worsted wool suit does in fact feminize a man. Where was that picture of him next to a chieftain? Where was that picture? The one with him being next to a tribal chieftain who was mocking the out of him? Here we go. Is this shit real? This is almost like too crazy, you know? Oh my god. That rules. Holy shit. This is why, like, no army can defeat Jordan and their their vast lands and their army, because the chieftains of the mountains can suplex your tanks. Jesus Christ. Meeting a D&D NPC. This is like a One Piece shot, okay? Like everyone's just random heights, you know? It's like, oh yeah, this is the Straw Hat crew entering Wano. It's like, oh, everyone here's 9 feet tall. Sure, whatever. I think American lefties would blow a fuse if they saw those pictures of literal ethnic Lebanese Hezbollah members who look like blonde Western European twinks who would break their brains. Well, a lot of Arabs, like, Arab is such a massive ethnic category, you know? Like, there's so many subcategories. It's like how the original, like, Aryan, you know, like that originally comes from the, like, Iran, you know. A lot of people in the region are kind of pretty white, you know. It sort of like varies area by area. Yeah, it's like Asian as a whole group, you know. Like the Arab world is colossal. Sudan is Arab and they're black. Yeah, exactly. Like just massive range there. Did I say Aryan by Aryan? Area by area. Aryan is from India, adopted by Iran. There are probably some white people in India too, but I imagine far fewer. Like the Russian world too, the guys who live just north of the Mongolian border are not the same guys who live in Moscow. Yeah, well, Russia being the size of Russia, you know. I mean, whatever. It's not like race is real. Here's him on Star Trek. There you go. We're getting this from, let's see, from Star Trek Wiki. Abdullah bin al-Hussein. The Hashemite kingdom of the king of the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan, an acknowledged fan of Star Trek, King Abdullah, then a prince, appeared as an uncredited extra in Star Trek Voyager second season episode Investigations. That's really cool. Honestly, that's very, very endearing, you know? That's very endearing. I think this Hashemite prince should get to be on his favorite TV show as a little treat, you know? As like a little treat. Why is Vaush simping over a monarch? He's a happy guy. Also, from my understanding, it's very possible that Jordan is actually like the most liberal government in the Middle East right now. It sure as isn't Assad or Iraq or Saudi Arabia, and it's not Israel right now. Definitely not, with them arresting people for Snapchat posting "God be with them" or whatever. That no, I'm pretty sure Jordan actually is. We might see an actual real argument for like stable, benevolent monarchy, you know, sort of like superseding in value liberal democracy, which is what Israel was for a time with an apartheid part. You know, the people are still kind of conservative. I mean, come on, we're grading on a curve here, okay? It's the Kingdom of Jordan. Let's monarchist arc incoming. Yeah. Well, I do actually think, like, I will make an impassioned case for one thing, which is, like, if you understand these political systems to be, like, naturally occurring as a product of material condition, the Arab world just isn't really, like, it varies, but the Arab world has not been, like, primed for democracy, you know? Like, you need that civil society element, right? You go in the Soviet Union, you try democracy for a hot second, and then, it doesn't work because there's no meaningful, like, civil basis for it. People don't really believe in it. People want strongmen. So it's very possible that in an area where things are so unstable that you actually can't, like, maintain a democracy, having a monarchy probably would be smarter, because monarchies are potentially very stable if they're managed the same. Africa is the same. Yeah, and, Africa is not doing great with regards to liberal democracy at the moment, generally speaking. Obviously, it varies. Africa's a whole continent, but in the more unstable regions, like, just like the central and the northwestern Africa, it's just it's not good. Never name every person in Africa. Rommel. Wait. Okay, sorry. It helps that Jordan's monarch isn't like some dude just provably connected to the region. It gives him a lot of cultural legitimacy, yeah. It should be noted that monarchs don't choose to become monarchs, they inherit it. I think the main thing that makes monarchies preferable to like military juntas, generally, is that monarchies are, by their definition, bound by tradition. Normally that's a bad thing, but I think when it comes to like curbing the excesses of autocracy, tradition can limit you in ways that you being like the big military general guy who just takes power can't, Like, monarchies don't just exist in a void. There's this entire like system that facilitates the transition of power from the king to the prince or whatever. And in that system, there's stuff that could limit you in a way that you wouldn't really in a way that you wouldn't really be limited if you were just like the big guy who took charge, then you're kind of like limitless in your power. Plus, you do have a direct line of succession, ideally, which prevents, any complications. Does this apply to monarchies and everything but name like North Korea? Yeah. Yeah, oh god. Oh my god. Yes. North Korea would be so much less stable if every 20 years or 30 years or so there was just like another revolutionary leader who militantly took charge or whatever. Oh my god, yes. The fact that they run on like a dynastic system probably has kept them from firing their few nukes at South Korea there, thus far. I mean, stable. North Korea is pretty stable. Like, North Korea is desperately poor, incredibly autocratic, and it's propped up with very little external support, and it's been doing that for like 70 years. 60, I guess, It sucks massively, but it sucks in a stable way, compared to a bunch of like, like Burkina Faso, where there's a new junta that comes in every like 2 years, like it's a stable terribleness rather than an unstable terribleness, which is better. I would rather live in North Korea than Burkina Faso, I feel. Well, if I was born a new person, I'm pretty sure if I lived in either, I would be killed in either. Stable doesn't equal good is the point. No, but instability is worse than stability. So if they're bad either way, then I would prefer the stability to the instability. Well, they kind of have that 27 Chuck to Sloth. Do you ever see North Korea joining the international community? I mean, anything's possible, but